Hi everyone, my name is Adriana. I'm a tarot reader and an astrologer, and I'm going to be looking at the forecast for 2024. I want to highlight some important dates that caught my attention as well as it has for many other astrologers. I also plan to pull some tarot cards on certain aspects and dates so I can get some further insight into this. January 1st, right into the new year of 2024, Mercury will go direct, so we will be done with our Mercury retrograde. So things will start to feel a little easier, especially if things were very stressful during the holidays in December. There will be the shadow period for a couple weeks. It's post retrograde shadow, so there can still be some complications, of course, but the energy should feel a lot less stressful and tensions should hopefully ease a little bit better. Travel should be a little easier as well. So speaking of Mercury retrogrades, I do want to start off this video by just going ahead and listing all the retrogrades for 2024. Feel free to write this down. You can also just look it up yourself too and put it in your calendar. Now, what is Mercury retrograde? These are days that you should not be making any serious commitments, travel plans. It's also a time that I would not suggest putting any investments in as well. So if you're somebody who does investments or stocks, definitely not a good time for that as well. The same with Saturn retrograde, which I'll also talk about later in this video. It's also not a good time for investments and things like that, or big spending. So be careful of your purchases. It also is a time where there's a lot of miscommunications. I've heard so many people say how people from their past suddenly contact them, whether it's an ex, partner, or even friend. So it's a time where the past can kind of creep back up on you during Mercury retrograde. So the first Mercury retrograde for 2024 will be on April 1st. This will last till April 25th. The next one will be not till August 5th, so we'll have some of summer without retrograde, Mercury retrograde, I should say. So it'll be August 5th until the 28th. And the next one will be November 25th until December 15th. So we are having, so it'll be 3 Mercury retrogrades this year. Thing that's happening this year. So I want to touch on some big things that have stood out to me, both from an astrological standpoint, but also intuitively. I'm going to touch on those things first, and then I'll do more of a breakdown for each month, and I'll try to not make this video too long. Maybe I'll even do separate videos for each month. If anyone is interested in that, I can definitely do that as well, along with the tarot cards. So I feel like the first thing, okay, so I'm going to say this first, and then there's something I really want to talk about. I feel like I will just say, so just to preface it, I feel like there's a lot of information that's going to be coming out in government, politics, on social media, internet, things like that. I just feel like there is going to be a lot of things coming out, a lot of truth coming out, coming to surface, coming to light here. So knowledge is, I feel, going to be in the spotlight. I do think there is going to be some deception, though, with that. Of course, with truth, there comes some deception as well. But yeah, I do think for the most part, though, this will be a really great year for transparency. And I will say some disclosure, okay? So before I get too much into that though, I do want to first talk about Pluto is going to be leaving Capricorn. This is good news for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and rising signs, like myself included. It's been in Capricorn for, I believe it's been 15 years. So that was a big chunk of my life, especially in my youth. So that has been a very impactful time for anyone who has those placements, or if you have a very Capricorn heavy natal chart. If you're not sure, you would have to ask an astrologer. That's something I could do. I could look at your birth chart and see what's in there. But yeah, so if you have a lot of Capricorn, this could have also affected you in your natal chart. So yeah, Pluto is finally leaving Capricorn. It will make a slight little visit back into Capricorn though in 2024, just for a short time, just to tie up some loose ends. So it'll be leaving on January 20th out of Capricorn, going into Aquarius. So it'll enter Aquarius January 20th all the way till September 1st. Okay, so Aquarius, sun, moons, and risings. You're going to be feeling this now. There's going to be a lot of transformation and change happening over a very long period of time. Pluto is a planet of change and transformation, okay, just like that Scorpio energy. Like the Death card in the tarot deck, that relates to that scorpionic energy, that Pluto energy. With death comes rebirth, change and transformation, going through the darkness to come out through the light. Sometimes you have to go through hard lessons to come out on the other side, okay? So that'll be over a long period of time. Aquarians, you're going to be, not even just Aquarians, but like I said, sun, moon, and rising signs. Other signs could also be affected by this too, if you have, depending where you have Aquarius in your chart. So again, if you have a heavy Aquarian chart, that could also affect you as well. And depending on your Pluto placement. So it will return back into Capricorn, like I mentioned. It'll return back into Capricorn on, let me see my notes. It'll go back September 1st. Pluto goes back into Capricorn until the 11th of October. Okay, so it'll be in Capricorn for a little over a month again. So again, tying up loose ends. So Capricorn placements, you know, you might be tying up some loose ends here, dealing with things that needed to be still dealt with, maybe revisiting some things that still need to be worked on. That could be in many areas of life. It could be financial matters. It could be stuff with your job, your path, your career path, life path, any patterns that you need to still tie up and work out. Okay, so then it will return back into Aquarius November 19th all the way till March 8th of 2043. Yes, 2043. So like I said, Pluto is going to be there for 19 years because Pluto has such a large orbit. So it's going to be hanging out in Aquarius for 19 years. Once it hits November 19th, it's there to stay. So you got a 19-year commitment there in the sign of Aquarius. And, you know, this is part of that whole, you know, this is the age of Aquarius now too. So again, lots of change and transformation globally on a humanitarian collective, us as humans, as part of our evolution, we're going to be seeing a lot of changes happening. Government structures totally changing. New ways of thinking, unconventional ideas coming out, and I say, you know, maybe even being implemented as well. Okay. Aquarius is actually, I would say, very, it can be very traditional actually, because in traditional astrology, Saturn is the ruling planet for Aquarius. Of course, with modern astrology, it would be the planet Uranus, which is all the unusual and inventive things. So how do we balance that, you know, that traditional, how do we take from the traditional but also implement new ideas as well? Okay, so I think that will be very interesting to see as a collective whole how that's going to play out. And I think it'll be a very important test for humanity to figure that out together and hopefully come together with all, you know, the division in the world. Okay, so yes, so this is my next thing that I do want to talk about, and I will give credit to a really great video that I watched. So I'm a galactic astrology student, and I will link it down below. They did a video on their YouTube channel as well, and they talked about this really cool aspect. We have a grand air trine happening, and I just was getting alarm bells ringing with this. Okay, so intuitively hearing this, I just really felt this was something I wanted to talk about and touch on here. So yes, we have a grand air trine between Pluto in Aquarius, as I just was talking about. This is making a trine to the galactic point of Sedna. Okay, Sedna. Sedna is, I looked this up a little bit too, and I researched a little bit into this because I didn't know a lot of information about this. But if you look in the mythology of Sedna, she is this goddess, and she doesn't start off that way. She becomes a goddess after she has thrown overboard. She's basically cast out from her society and becomes the goddess of the sea. So, you know, really beautiful, again, a transformative story, and it can relate to exactly what's happening here. And with this being part of this grand air trine to the supergalactic center, okay, so, and it's in Libra, so that is the other air sign. Sedna is in Gemini. This will be on the 27th. I may note that 27th of April, where it will align with Sedna, supergalactic center. It's a fixed point, so but it will align with Sedna and Gemini on 27th of April. So yeah, this grand air trine, you know, with air energy, it's information, it's things coming out, truth coming to light. I really just feel, and if this happens, it could be around April, it could be around springtime, maybe even early summer. I feel that there is going to be a lot of information from government or even through the internet here that is going to be coming out. Now, of course, with information coming out, there will be deception with that, right? Through the media. I'm sure that most definitely will get, you know, twisted and turned through media, of course. So, you know, always use your better judgment, always do your own research. But I just feel that there's going to be some big truths coming out, okay? And I'm just going to go ahead and say I really feel that we're going to have more disclosure when it comes to extraterrestrial life, okay? So I'm not going to be surprised. I mean, I will be somewhat surprised, of course, right? Who am I kidding? But I will say that I think this year is going to be huge to get the ball rolling on that when it comes to contact and communication, because that is what air energy is all about, communication, okay? When it comes to other life, okay? So if If that's something that doesn't resonate with you, that's totally fine. You can ignore this part of the video or choose not to listen to it. That's okay too. But yes, I really feel that we're going to have an initial start to communication as a whole through humanity, okay? Of course, I do think we should be careful with our judgments of things here and the information that comes out, of course. So we need to use our intuition, okay, and see through things here. The subconscious, okay, becoming conscious here, things surfacing. So are we going to continue to hang on to the old ways, or is there a way that we can bring balance with the old ways of what we've learned into transcending it into this new chapter, this new reality, if you want to call it that? Okay, so again, I really do feel that there's going to be more disclosure and truth coming out in regards to that. Not only with that, but I will say with government too. Certain flight laws coming out, okay? Yeah. So I think you guys kind of can catch my drift. There's going to be a lot of truth coming to light here. And for some of us, it will be hard to handle. But sometimes it's better to know the truth than to be kept in the dark, right? So yeah, lots of information this year is going to be revealed, especially in more mainstream media or mainstream knowledge, okay? So I'm really feeling that. I really do feel that intuitively, and I'm excited for it. I think there will be issues, of course, with it, but I am very excited to see the start of that. I feel that this will be a really big jump start into contact here with, however you want to say, extraterrestrial life or other beings, we could say. Okay. So we will see. We will see how this pans out here with that. There was also mention in that galactic astrology video. Like I said, I'll link it down below, guys, if you want to check that out. It's a good video. That they mentioned too that there is going to be an alignment with the star Algol. Okay, Algol is Medusa's head, essentially. Okay, so if you are familiar with Greek mythology, Perseus holds Medusa's head after he slays her. So this usually can be a bad omen. So I do feel intuitively, since that starts 25th, it's in conjunction with Uranus, 25th of April, that's when it starts, and then it'll be exact by 7th of June. I do feel like there could be some conflict definitely happening in the world. So perhaps with new information coming out, there can definitely be, and Saturn will be retrograde in Pisces the 29th of June. So I do feel like there could definitely be conflict going on in the world. Could indicate wars, hopefully not. It could indicate that though, or some sort of kind of conflict there happening. But I really do feel that the truth is going to come to light, and I think if we can see that, and we as a majority of a collective can acknowledge it, then perhaps that conflict can be stopped in some sort of way, or brought to light to where it can be stopped. Okay, so yes, so with that being with Algol here, there could be some issues definitely happening Okay, so that's going on at that same time with that grand air trine. But I think it'll mostly ease up from what I feel, okay? So what I'm kind of seeing here as a timeline for myself personally is, you know, April comes, there's going to be some truth coming out. Could be very otherworldly or innerworldly truth happening, which can lead to some sort of conflict going on. July 2nd, Neptune will be in retrograde with Pisces. So there can be this deception that I could see happening here. There could be deception going on with that truth. So be careful of, you know, what you're being told. Be careful of any information, where you're getting your information and things like that. Okay, so I always just advise people, you know, use your better judgment, use your intuition as best as you can here with things. Okay, so you know how government or media can very much so manipulate things. So we can only just try to do our best. So yeah, watch out for that with that Neptune and Pisces energy, okay? This could be that also victimization here, victim mentality. So we don't want to be victims here, right? We want to transcend that. And that deception that can possibly happen during that time, okay? And let me just check when actually Neptune and retrograde is over. December 7th, okay? So yeah, that's something we're just going to have to watch out for this year, I feel, is deception. You know, so with truth, there will always be some deception, some lies people will try to throw in there, confusion, okay? Okay, so I hope I explained that the best I can, what I was really feeling from there. Okay, so numerology is also really interesting. Again, I'm referencing the video, the Galactic Astrology video that I mentioned before. I think they did a beautiful job putting that together, and they mentioned in the numerology the number 8. And I immediately, when you know, thinking of 8, thought of that infinity symbol, which is also in the Magician card in the tarot deck. Okay, the Magician card here, which I will actually bring out. And that's all about manifestation. Okay, and that infinity symbol, it's polarity. You know, it's the positive, the negative, the yin, the yang, light and dark, the balance, as above, so below. Okay, so that is going to be, that's the numerology for 2024. It adds up to an 8. So we're going to be seeing a lot of those themes with polarity, with some self-reflection. Okay. See if I can find my, and with the Strength card as well, the Leo energy with the Strength card here. You see the infinity symbol above her crown here. Okay, mental here. Mentally, what are you balancing? Okay. And where's the Magician? Let's get him. I'm also going to pull some cards actually on that grand air trine I was talking about. So meant to get into that as well. My mind's a little all over the place. So I was trying to organize this video the best I can, so bear with me, guys. But I did feel very called to share this message that I was feeling. Here we go. The Magician with that beautiful infinity symbol, manifesting. What do you have to balance to bring in your manifestations? What do you need to balance to bring into your reality? Okay. So yes, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to pull some cards on that grand air trine energy I was feeling with that that truth, that disclosure coming out. But with, of course, a little sprinkle in of deception, because the reality is it will happen. with the way the world is, unfortunately. But will we see through that? That is the question. Will we see through that deception or any lies or misinformation that comes from that? Okay. Okay. So tell me about this grand air trine here. That's starting end of April 2024. What is going to come of this? What is going to come of this? Yeah, definitely. Yes. So we're taking a stand here. We're taking a stand against miscommunication, misinformation, or what doesn't serve us. Taking that stand here with that Seven of Wands here, the Lovers card. Beautiful. Very beautiful energy here. Unity energy. Uniting. Taking a stand to unite against false truths. What will come of this grand air trine? What will come of this grand air trine? What will come of this grand air trine for the collective 2024? This grand air trine. And the supergalactic center is in Libra with that Lovers card. It's that energy of love centering right there, anchoring in. Okay. What will come of this grand air trine? What will come of this grand air trine in 2024? Queen of Wands, divine feminine energy with the Queen of Wands paired with the King of Cups here. The masculine and feminine coming together here. Again, finding that balance here. The Queen of Wands in this case is taking a stand here. She's taking a stand here in her power. I feel like that's Sedna. I feel like that's that energy of Sedna, the goddess of the sea, coming in here. Even with the King of Cups as well, relating to that water energy. Again, how do we transcend the old ways? We could still bring in certain things from it. How do we balance that out? Okay, how do we take it? We need to take a stand and speak our truth here in a divine feminine way through creation. Now, how about this algal star? So I want to look more into this aspect here with the algal star, which will be exact on the 7th of June. So the Medusa head, what is this going to bring? I see victory. Victory is here. Victory is coming in. Okay. Hopefully some peace with this victory, as we have the Six of Cups here. A card of friendship, like a peace offering coming in. Victory will be here from that Medusa head. Okay, so maybe it brings conflict, but with it comes a resolution, triumph here. Victory comes with this, okay? Anything else for this aspect with the algal, the Medusa head? Anything else the collective should know about this aspect to algal? Yeah, you know what? It's going to be hard work. It will be hard work. There will be disagreements. There will be disagreements and conflict. Like I mentioned, before, there's going to be a lot of hard work involved. But how do we overcome our disagreements and maybe agree to disagree on things, right? How do we overcome that? Through hard work. Okay, so yeah, it's, not for the faint of heart, but victory will come in here. It's just going to take some hard work. Hard work as, as a collective, as humanity here. Okay, so yes, it's, that's confirming here with that algal, that aspect there to algal, there will be a victory that will happen. Again, this is specifically on the 7th of June. It will start end of April, but it'll be exact 7th of June here, so we might see around that date some resolution here. But again, it's, not going to be an easy one. Okay, it's going to be a period of rebuilding. Okay, so if there's any disasters, even natural disasters, there can be some sort of rebuilding here that needs to happen. Okay. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to get some cards on those points, those aspects, okay? Because those really stood out to me the most, so that really does confirm what I was feeling there as well.